Again, my name is Gabe Zollner, and this is intended to hopefully one day soon reach Senator McCain. And recently I was invited to attend a Tea Party meeting in Surprise, Arizona. And the people there, and there was a fairly large crowd, they wanted me to let you know what they think of you, they think of your views, they think of your recent statements. In general, their message is that they're no longer supportive of you, and they feel that you're no longer and have not been supportive of them. Over the last few years, they've been increasingly disappointed in your votes, your views, your actions, and your statements. Now let's try to be a little bit more specific so it'll get rid of any doubts that you may have. Sponsoring the Gang of Eight, the immigration bill, not knowing the facts within the bill. You were asked by a news reporter very clearly, why is it that you could have 3 forged documents, or you could do it 3 times before there's any action taken? Your comment was, well, I didn't know that was in there. You weren't alone. Lindsey Graham answered in a similar fashion. The fact is, we know that the Senate, and I'm sure in the House as well, you don't have time to read the bills. You're thinking of the next TV broadcast, or the next radio announcement you're going to make, or the next trip you're going to travel to. It's completely crazy. You also took advantage, I think, of a rising star in the Republican Senate, Marco Rubio. He was mesmerized by being involved as one of the Gang of Eight. And you and Chuck Schumer and Jeffrey the Flake, I think you set him up. You set him up as the poster child. Anyway, then your immigration bill, what that does is it dramatically impedes the American citizen to be able to obtain a low-wage job against one of the new immigrants. And the reason that is they're immune from Obamacare. Whoever hires them, they're not going to get fined because they're not eligible, whereas the American would be. You got to think things through, and none of you do. Well, how can you think things through when you don't even know what's in the bill? Arizona, as you know, is a fairly open state for guns, yet you've not been supportive of that at all. You've actually hidden in the shadows. And the comments that you have made were not in favor of our Second Amendment rights. What really amazed me was when you went over to Syria, and it also amazed all the Surprise Tea Party members. When you went over to Syria, who did you meet with? You met with the rebel freedom fighters. And who are they? Well, they're Al-Qaeda. They're the people that have been released from prison to go fight and try to depose Bashar al-Assad. You also wanted Obama to go ahead and bomb the place. You're unbelievable. You're dangerous. That's what you are. You're dangerous. You know what's also amazing is when you were selected or nominated by the Republican Party to run against Barack Hussein Obama. And were you part of the Senate Resolution 511? Who initiated it? Do you think maybe you were selected to run against Obama because both parties are culpable and they knew that you had a lot of gray around your immigration legal status, as did Obama? Is it possible that the two of you agreed not to bring it up against one another? I think that's the case. I think that's why you went ahead and did what you did. Remember that during the race you said, well, I've got to stop my campaigning because I've got to go and vote. Vote? What's more important than to try to take the office of the presidency? You even considered John Kerry as a running mate before you settled on Sarah Palin. And the reason you probably picked her is you were advised that she probably had no chance because she really wasn't qualified at that point. Well, she sure is qualified now, isn't she? You know, it goes on and on and on. How about the National Defense Authorization Act? that you and your buddy, your Democratic buddy, Carl Levin, yeah, he's, I think, what, the longest serving living senator? The National Defense Authorization Act that the two of you supposedly penned, which I don't believe that you did. I believe that Obama's dysfunctional criminal administration put it all together, and the two of you just put their names on it. To take it off of them, to place it on the two of you like it was a bipartisan decision, a bipartisan bill. I don't think you even knew what was in that either. But you know what it did? When Obama signed it into law, it gave Obama the ability to incarcerate anyone that he wishes, without due process, without legal representation, no Miranda rights. They just disappear. That's what the National Defense Authorization Act does and did. You probably don't remember this, McCain, but I got on the radio with you on KFYI, and I had asked you about the National Defense Authorization Act. I asked you, how is it that a senator that's been a senator for 25, 26 years didn't realize that the National Defense Authorization Act was in fact unconstitutional? You remember what happened next? You ranted and raved, and then I got disconnected. But I sent you a copy of the judge's order. The New York female judge, the federal judge, that deemed it to be unconstitutional. Other states have as well, but you didn't know that, because you didn't even know what was in it. It goes on and on and on. And the sad part is, recently, the news is that both you and Obama now respect each other. It's also my understanding that you're a regular guest at the White House. You frequent it on a very continuous basis. And if you're not at the White House, you're in contact with the White House on a daily basis. Don't you think it's about time you go to the other side? You've been there anyway. The citizens of Arizona don't want you to represent us any longer. You don't have our values. We voted for you because we thought you did have our values. You've crossed the line once too many times. And while you're at it, take your other senator buddy with you, Jeffrey the Flake Flake. His voting record as a congressman is somewhat similar to yours. Disgraceful. So, the citizens of Surprise, Arizona, you know, the same ones that went ahead and asked Sheriff Joe to investigate Barack Hussein Obama's forged birth certificate, they're not happy with you either. We'd all like you to do the honorable thing and resign. Your legacy has been destroyed. Speaking of Sheriff Joe, it's utterly amazing that you've not taken the time to listen to what Mike Zula has to say. You know why? Because you don't want to know. You've made friends with Barack Hussein Obama, and you want to keep it that way. You're looking for a seat at the world order, the new world order. Problem is, you're not getting any younger, are you, McCain? And once again, I think you've destroyed your legacy. So do the members of the Surprise Arizona Tea Party. They also think you destroyed your legacy, as I'm certain do most Arizona citizens that know what's really going on. You're a disgrace. You're disgusting. You need to resign.